Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be going over my Bible collection for 2025. Let's get right into it. Alrighty, for the first NIV Bible in my collection, and for my very first Bible that I ever got, we have my NIV VeggieTales Bible. I loved this Bible, and I still do love this Bible, because you can tell how beat up it is. I use this mostly in Sunday school. So this is a very cool Bible because there are stories. Where are they? I just saw one that they retell in VeggieTales form. Like this is Jonah and the whale, but with VeggieTales. So all the text in this Bible is blue. There's no red lettering, and these did not come with the Bible. I put on these Bible tabs, or I think my mom or dad did actually. But yeah, for being my first Bible, I used this for many years. I think up until 2018 or 19. Because I remember the second Bible I ever got was my ESV Student Study Bible, and I got that in 2019. So I think I must use this up until 2019, but that sounds like a long time. So I'm actually not sure about that, but anyways, this is the first Bible I'm showing you today, and again, this is the NIV VeggieTales Bible. Okay, for the second Bible that we have in my collection, we have my favorite Bible, and that is my NIV Journal of the Word Bible by Zondervan. So this Bible is very nice. It has a very soft cover, has a very nice cross design. It has one ribbon, and it's kind of hard to tell on camera. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to tell or not, but it has cream-colored pages. But looking into the Bible, it has the words of Christ in red, and the margin is very big, which is what I've been wanting for my dream Bible. I wanted a NIV Bible that wasn't like a kid's NIV Bible, and I also wanted a wide margin Bible, so you can technically say that this is my dream Bible, but I will show you some of the notes that I took, because they are all mostly in Hebrews. So this is Hebrews chapter 3 and 4. But yeah, I absolutely love this Bible. I keep it at home because I don't want to take it out and get it all ruined and messed up. But I do have another Bible that I use for that coming up later. So yeah, this is my NIV Journal Word Bible by Zondervan. Alrighty, for the next Bible in my collection, we actually have another NIV Journal the Word Bible. And I believe this Bible is very similar on the inside as my favorite Bible, but this is actually my church Bible, and it has a black hardcover. And I'm actually not the biggest fan of hardcover Bibles. I just prefer when they have a softer cover. I mean, I still really love this Bible, and it's still very nice, but looking into the Bible, it has a very nice strap, very flexible. This did not come on here. I drew that and put it on there with tape, but yeah, this Bible has one red ribbon. The side is actually very beat up. So, that's just from me traveling. But looking into the Bible, like I said, it is the exact same thing. The typesetting might be different, but again, the words of Christ are in red. Oh, and I will show you my church notes. So this is where I take all of my main notes from church sermons, whether that's youth group or just listening to the pastor on Sunday morning. But yeah, there's one. It stops right there. So yeah, I really do love this Bible, and I'm going to keep using this one for a very long time. So yeah. So for the next Bible that I'm showing you guys, this is my NIV Finline Bible, and this is the Bible that got me back into collecting and using NIV Bibles, or the NIV translation in general. I got this Bible from my youth pastor, because we're like Bible buddies. So this is a very nice Bible. It's more on like the, I don't want to say cheaper side, but it's less expensive. Let's just say that. So the words of Christ, I believe, are in red. Let me check. Yep. So the words of Christ are in red. I I used this one at church for a very small time, but now, I actually might take this one to college with me and use this as like my college Bible. So, people ask me, why do you have so many Bibles? I use them all. Trust me. And if I haven't found a purpose for all of them yet, I will. Trust me. But yeah, this Bible has some very nice silver gilding. It's very clean and pristine. It has 2 ribbons, one being black and one being red. And yeah, I really do love this Bible, and I'm very thankful for my youth pastor and everything that he does for me. So yeah, that is my NIV Thin Line Bible. On to the next one. Alrighty, so going back to the NIV journaling Bibles. This is not a Journal the Word Bible, but this is a prayer Bible. This is the Bible that I was telling you guys about earlier when I said I have a journaling Bible that I'm not afraid to like take places and get beat up. Well, besides my church Bible, because that one I take places, but you know what I mean. Like if I'm going somewhere and I want to bring a Bible along, this is the one that I'd usually take. So this Bible is very nice. It has a black hardcover, which that's like my church one. But this Bible is really cool because it has prayers in it based on the text. I really love this Bible. I got this Bible recently, actually, like at the end of summer. So here's a look at the inside. The margins, I feel like, aren't as wide, but they're still pretty like lengthy. This one does not have any lines in it, but I still really do love this Bible. And this Bible does have a very thick blue ribbon, and this Bible has no gilding on it. And I think that is pretty much everything for this Bible. Alrighty, so the next Bible that we have in my collection is my NIV Quest Study Bible, and this Bible has a hard blue cover. It says Holy Bible on it in light blue. It has 1 blue ribbon, and this is what the side looks like for you guys if you were curious. So looking into the Bible, you can see there are study tools and notes to help. I always recommend study Bibles, so like if you're beginning out in the Bible, because I feel like those would help you a lot. I'm gonna do a YouTube short about that sometime in the future, like where to start if you're starting to read the Bible. But yeah, looking into this Bible, I believe the words of Christ are not in red. Let me go back and look. Yes, so there are no words of Christ in red, which I actually prefer the words of Christ to be in red with my Bibles. But yeah, I still really do love this Bible. There is a coordinates in the back, and there are maps as well. I don't usually look at the maps, but I always like to go back and look at them occasionally because I think they're cool. So yeah, I got this Bible recently when I went to a bookstore with my friend, and yeah, I really love that Bible, and let's move on to the next one. Alrighty, for the second to last Bible in my collection, we have my compact NIV Bible, and you can see the cover for it is right there. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have all my NIV covers right there. Not all of them, the ones that I still have, because I got rid of some of them. But yeah, this is very special to me because I got this Bible when I went to summer camp with my youth group, and my friend actually bought this Bible for me. So this Bible is a very small text, but it is still very readable. There are words of Christ in red. You can see I have a sticky note right here. That's because there were Jehovah's Witnesses, and we were going to have a debate. But if you guys want to hear about that, maybe that's something I can share another day. But looking at the outside of this Bible, I really love this cross design right here. It does have gold gilding. It has 2 very nice ribbons. And like I said, it's compact, so it's very small. I have an average teenager sized hand, I believe. I think. I don't know. But this is the Bible size, and this is me holding it in my one hand. So yeah, let's move on to the final NIV Bible of the day. Alrighty, last but not least, for the NIV portion of the video, we have my NIV waterproof Bible. This video is not sponsored by any of the companies that create these Bibles, but I just want to give a small shout out to BMP Bibles because they're a smaller company that makes these very cool Bibles out of recyclable material that you can bring by the pool. Like, this is heavy duty paper too. Like, you can even highlight and use pencil in this still and bring it underwater and it'll be fine. The only downside to this Bible, however, is that it gets very stiff when it's wet, and you have to like lay it out like this to dry it. Sorta, like, you gotta open the pages or fan them out. I can't right now because they're all dry. But I use this Bible by the poolside on hot days when I'm swimming, and I absolutely love this Bible. I was using this Bible a lot over the summer. So yeah, that is going to wrap up the NIV portion of the video, and let's move on to the ESVs. Alrighty, for the first ESV Bible in my collection, we have my ESV Student Study Bible. I got this Bible back in 2019, like I said earlier, and you could tell I use this Bible a lot with how beat up it is. But it has one nice long brown ribbon. It has no gilding. It has a nice chestnut brown cover. It's soft, but not as soft as my journaling Bible. But looking into the Bible, there are no words of Christ in red. There is basically everything else that you get with a study Bible. There's a coordinates, there's maps. But this Bible is very special to me, and I absolutely love this thing. It just, I used this thing for pretty much a long time. I basically stopped using it when I started going to the church I currently go to because they preach in the NIV. So that's basically when I made that main switch over to the NIV translation. But yeah, this Bible, what is that? I don't know what that is. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, so that is the first ESV Bible in my collection. Let's move on to the next one. Alrighty, for the next ESV Bible in my collection, we have my ESV Pocket Bible. This is my smallest Bible in my entire collection. It is a lot smaller than my hand, but this is a very cool Bible. I love the brown cover. I love the cross on the cover. I'm now just noticing how long crossway ribbons are. Has everyone else known that except me? Anywho, so going into the Bible, there are no words of Christ in red, but that's okay. There's not much to this Bible. There's like the main text, the Canon 66 books. There's like, there's no like maps or anything. There's not a coordinates. Again, the text is very small, but I actually really love this Bible. And I got this at the beginning of June in the year 2023. On to the next Bible. Alrighty, so the next Bible in my collection, you actually might recognize if you were here when I first started YouTube, because this was my logo for a while. And that's because this was my favorite Bible. This Bible is the ESV Thin Line Bible, and it has a brown and quarter van colored portfolio design cover. This is a very nice Bible with some nice gold gilding. It has one ribbon. The words of Christ are in red. I just saw a page where they were. Here we go. Sorry for that glare. Yeah, it's a double column. There are maps in the back, which is very nice, and there's a coordinates. Like I said, I'm not going to spend time going through all these maps just for the sake of time, because this video is not going to be very detailed reviews of each and every Bible. Like, I'm just briefly going over them, so. But yeah, that was my ESV Thin Line Bible and the brown and quarter van colored cover in the portfolio design. Alrighty, so the next Bible in my collection that I'm showing you is my ESV Thin Line Bible in top grain leather, so it is real leather. It looks very black in real life and on camera, but it is labeled as a dark brown color. But this is a very cool Bible. It has some nice stamping, and it has raised spine hubs. It has some gold gilding, and it has 2 brown ribbons. But going into the Bible, it is a larger print, and there are no words of Christ in red. This Bible also has a coordinates and maps in the back. I feel like a lot of ESV Bibles have those. That's just me. There's an example of the coordinates. I got this Bible sometime at the end of last year, and this is definitely one of my favorite ones in my collection. So yeah, let's move on to the final ESV Bible of this video. Alrighty, for the final ESV Bible in my collection, we have my family's ESV Study Bible. This is a very giant Bible. I'm looking at it compared to my hand. It is bigger than my hand. But me and my mom got this Bible for $100, and we split the cost. So I wanted to get this Bible because I wanted my family to have an heirloom Bible, or just something that we can pass down. Maybe one day I'll pass it down to my kids, if I have any. But it has all your typical ESV Study Bible stuff. This is something from Daily Bread. Yeah, it is double columned. It's a very large print. And me and my family have this color system in here. So all my highlights are in green. All of my dad's are in blue, and all of my mom's are in purple. Let me go to mine. I know I did it in Hebrews, obviously, because that's my favorite book in the Bible. So yeah, I'm very happy to have this, and when me and my mom do devotions in the morning, we always use this Bible. But, so, you could tell I'm the one who highlighted this, because it's, well, obviously, aside from it being my favorite Bible verse, it's in green, so that means that it was my highlight. But yeah, this is a very cool and very heavy Bible. But yeah, that wraps up all of the ESV Bibles for this video. Let's move on to the next category. Alrighty, so I do only have 2 Bibles in the CSB translation, but I think the CSB translation is my favorite after the NIV. But looking at the first Bible, it is a journaling Bible, and it has a very cool art cover with some artwork of Bible stories. But looking into it, it is very nice. It is cream colored paper again. It feels different than the one in the NIV journaling Bibles, but it's still pretty good, and it is heavy duty. So here's the coordinates, and there are maps in the back, which I like the looks of these maps, like compared to Crossways maps where they're kind of glossy. I like how this looks like it's on like older paper. But yeah, this Bible has some ribbons. It has a green one and a, like, I don't know, what color would you call that? It's like a tan. It looks more yellow on camera. But yeah, actually, I got both of my CSB Bibles from my youth pastor. This one I got, it's like my church youth group does this like fun, silly award ceremony, and I got the Bible Collector's Award. But my youth pastor gave this to me in addition. But I also got like a small little trophy, but I got this in addition, which I thought was very thoughtful. Alrighty, the next Bible is a small, compact pocket Bible. And this one was also from my youth pastor, and I got this right before I left for youth camp this past summer. But my youth pastor did this red gilding himself. Look at how crisp that looks. But this Bible has a nice red ribbon, has some gold stamping on the spine. Looking into the Bible, it's your pretty basic, compact Bible. It's pretty readable. It's kind of hard to read on camera. That could just be because of my phone. Yeah, words of Christ are in red. You can see right there. And there are maps in this Bible, which I'm surprised that they're in there for this being a pretty small Bible. Yeah, this Bible is very cool, and I really love this Bible. Alrighty guys, so the next 3 Bibles that you're going to see, I only have 1 copy of in each translation, and that's the KJV, NKJV, and the NLT. I hope you guys enjoy this segment. Alrighty, so for my one and only King James Bible, I have a devotional King James Bible. And so this Bible is basically a devotional Bible. So this Bible was going to help me read the Bible in 1 year. I unfortunately am too behind to do that now. So I'm going to try again next year, and if you could just pray for me that I'll be consistent, because that's my goal, to read the Bible in 1 year. So, looking at the Bible, it has a very cool brown looking cover. It has a very long ribbon, has some nice pages. And this Bible has devotions for each day of the year, which is very cool, and that's what it was made for. So yeah, I'm very happy to have this Bible, and it is a very cool Bible. I was thinking that would be a map. It's just like a piece of cardstock paper. So yeah, that is my one and only King James Translation Bible. Alrighty, so first up in this category, I have a journal, and it is just the book of Hebrews. Like, that's why I didn't include it in the ESV part of this video, is because it's not an entire Bible. It is literally just the book of Hebrews. But the cover is pretty cool. It has the letter to the Hebrews in golden with the ESV logo above it. Going into it, you get a preface, if you want to pause and read that. And then you start in chapter 1. And then you end all the way in chapter 13. And then you also get some blank note pages. So there's not much to this, but it's pretty cool to have around, like if you want to take it while you travel. I got this at a bookstore kind of a while back now, I would say. But unfortunately, I haven't been in this much since I mainly use the NIV translation now. But it's so cool to have around, and maybe one day I'll go back to it. I actually might take it to school with me now. It might be, like, good to keep in my backpack, just to make sure I have something related to God's Word in my book bag. So yeah, let's move on to the next thing. Alrighty, so next up I have the Action Bible. And well, yes, this technically is meant for kids. I just thought it'd be something cool to have because look at the artwork in this. Look how cool this is. This is so, like, fun to read. I got this at Target recently, along with some other stuff. But, I don't know, I just thought it'd be, like, something cool to have. I tried displaying it on my dresser with it open, but that was kind of hard. But here's a look at my favorite page in here. So yeah, this is pretty cool, and this is gonna help a lot of kids get into God's Word early on in their life. So one day when I have kids, I'm gonna pass it down to them. So let's move on to the final thing for this video. Alrighty, so the last thing in my collection is my Bible pillow. It's so big that I can't even hold it with the camera on the desk. So, looking at the pillow, it is a very large pillow. You could sleep with it like this or like this. I personally prefer this way because when it's like this, it hurts my neck. But it says Holy Bible on it. It has a cool border and it has a little fish on there. But looking into it, you get, oh wait, I could do this. Hang on. Now let me zoom out for you guys. Hang on. So looking into it, you get 1 Corinthians chapter 13. If you want to pause and read it, you can go ahead. I'm not going to read it, but yeah, it's a very cool thing to have. You can, obviously, like I said, you could sleep with it, or you can just have it as a decoration around your house. And that is everything that I have to show you guys for my collection. Let's go ahead and head to an outro. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry I've not been on YouTube. I've gotten really wrapped up in work and school. I'm not trying to make excuses, and I promise I'm going to be coming back and making more videos for you guys. I have a bunch of cool ideas I'm planning to do in the near future, but thank you guys for tuning in today, and I'll see you next time.